How you doing, folks? This is the Fig Lebowski coming at you, and I'm going to talk off the cuff here, so I might have to do more than one take. But I think it's very important to point out that most figs do not taste like Fig Newtons. If you don't like Fig Newtons, if you don't like Black Mission figs, brown turkey figs, if you've had date or bacon wrapped figs and you weren't big on the fig itself, you've probably had a sugar fig. That's one of 4 types. So lend me your ear for a minute. I'm going to do a 101 on figs. I don't think I'll get that much wrong. Most of it's going to be pretty accurate. Always feel free to double check me. I'm not the expert on everything. But when it comes down to figs, you've got 2 overall classifications. What you're usually growing at home is a common fig. Does not require pollination. All of my figs here at the Infirmary Tiny Orchard are common figs. None of mine require pollination. If a fig is pollinated, it's called a caprification. So a caprified fig is a pollinated fig, and apparently it's a game changer. I live in Arizona. We don't have the insect required to pollinate the figs. We'll get into that later. But since we don't have the insect required to pollinate the figs, I've never had an actual caprified fig. They're bigger, juicier, supposed to be out of this world, different taste. And if you live in California, west coast of America, certain parts of Australia, if you're in the right climate to support the wasp, tiny ant-sized wasp, that caprifies your figs, you're a lucky ducky. That's all I can say. I look forward to trying one at some point. But the other fig that requires that pollination is called a Smyrna or a San Pedro fig. A lot of people will move into a house, it's got a fig, and after a year or two they say, what am I doing wrong with my fig tree? It always drops all the figs, and they're spongy, and they're speckled, and they're Smyrna. You've got a male tree, probably, a tree that needs to be pollinated to get any decent fruit. You gotta have both sexes nearby, like most fruit trees. That's why we grow the common ones. Now, in common types, really, it depends on what search you do. I feel confident saying that there are over 1,000 types of figs, 1,000 varieties. You'll do searches that'll say there's over 3,000 types, there's over 7,000 types. Yeah, there's over 7,000 names, but what you need to realize is there's certain figs that have different names because they've been brought to different regions, but genetically they're pretty much the same fig. So should it be counted twice? That's not a debate for me. I don't care. I'm not going into that. But what you're going to get when you're looking into figs is 4 different flavor groups, and it's all going to come down to the fruit. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same tree. They're the same plant. Grow it as a tree. Grow it as a bush. I grow it as a bush. Many people grow it as a tree. I grow it as a bush so that it protects itself from the sun. You have one type that just about everyone knows because its flavor is pretty much the Fig Newton flavor, and that's the brown turkey or the Black Mission. They're both very similar. This is a Presidio Black Mission, which is a heritage tree. It was made from a tree that stood on the University of Arizona property for a couple hundred years, and now they have the specific Presidio tree. Yeah. Your second group you have out there is a honey fig. Black Mission, brown turkey, sorry I had a brain fart there, Black Mission, brown turkey, or sugar figs. Flanders is a honey fig. Guess what it tastes like? It tastes like honey. You have also, in the third category, Constantini Dark, I believe, would fall into that category. But for sure, the third category, Panache, would be representing. The third category is the berry category. Now, a lot of people know the sugar fig. Quite a few people know the honey fig. because Grandma had a honey fig in the backyard. They love the figs. They can't find them in the store. People are starting to know the berry fig because seasonally places like Trader Joe's and other co-ops are starting to carry panache. So you might have heard the name. It's possible you saw one at a nursery. They're starting to get around a little bit, but nurseries usually carry Black Mission, Brown Turkey, Peter's Honey Fig. But the panache fig, a berry fig, if you get a ripe berry fig head, one ripe berry fig off of this bad boy before I put it in the ground, because it was donated to me by a wonderful grower in Tucson, it tastes, hand to God, like a spoonful of strawberry Smuckers with the seed crunch and everything. It was amazeballs. Now, your fourth category you have, and I haven't tried one from this category yet, is your complex berry. This is what is it? Del San Juan, DSJG. Del San Juan Gran, I believe it is. It's a complex berry fig, which is supposed to be absolutely out of this world delicious. Now, a lot of people don't grow them because it is a longer ripening stage. It's a late ripening fig. If you live in a climate with pots, or say you're in the Midwest or something like that, it's going to be difficult for you to get the fruit. But I'm in Tucson, so game on, let's do this. I'm looking forward to this one. Complex berries, figs can have a complex taste. Tastes like strawberries with blackberries, hints of watermelon. You might get notes of certain spices and stuff like that in there. So complex berry ones are sort of like the top shelf that a lot of people really would like to plant. But you don't necessarily always get the fruit from it. This is a berry fig called the Chicago Hardy. It was originally discovered, guess where? Outside of Chicago. It does not get killed off by the Chicago winters, so guess what? It's a hardy fig. I'm not going to say the people that named these things are the most inventive, but it's concise and it tells you what you're getting there. It's a hardy Chicago or Chicago Hardy, depending upon who you buy it from. This is our second year with this bad boy. That center cane is as tall as I am. Okay, this has been in the ground from a 6-inch cutting for 18 months. They grow very fast. And as they grow, the flavor of the fruit improves. Like many trees, you know, when you're on year 3, year 5, yeah, the fruit's finally there and it's fantastic. I can tell you, we got fruit off of this one last year, first year fruit, nice and ripe. They're small, not real big ones, maybe about the size of a quarter, but it tasted like berries with a strong watermelon taste to it. Did you think figs were going to taste like berry and watermelons? Because I didn't. I didn't when my first fig here, which was the brown turkey that a friend gave me a cutting for. Everyone has brown turkeys down here. You're going to find them in every nursery. I didn't know for 3 years that figs could taste like strawberry preserve, or watermelon, or blackberry, or have notes of spices and stuff. Holy crap, it could taste like honey. This is why people grow figs. This is why people collect so many different types. So if you're interested in figs and you would like to start growing them, just know you don't have to start with Black Mission. They do not have to taste like Fig Newtons, not everyone's favorite cookie. And the seed crunch you feel inside of a fig are the seeds Those are the seeds. You see a meme going around that says, did you know that figs require the wasp? And when you crunch that, those are the wasp eggs. Do you think any of us would grow this crap if that was true? Number one, only the San Pedro requires the fig wasp to be pollinated. Okay, requires. A common fig can still get caprified if you live in an area with the fig wasp, but it doesn't require it to become ripened. The fig, if it goes into a San Pedro or a Smyrna fig, or one of your common figs, is going to crawl in the eye in the bottom of the fig, which is that little hole, sometimes a bigger hole, depending upon the breed of the fig. Now, it crawls in there, mama lets her butt hang out, she gets some action going on, crawls up inside of there, lays her eggs, she dies. She doesn't crawl out. That's distasteful to some people. It's the size of an ant. And as the fruit caprifies, it produces enzymes that completely break down that remaining ant, that remaining fig wasp. All of the babies crawl out the bottom. And from what I know, once you've tasted a caprified fig, you will no longer give a shit that a wasp was used to caprify it, because it's that amazing. I look forward to trying one sometime. I might have to artificially pollinate one at some point just so I can see what all the hubbub is about, because I love them even without caprification. But remember, figs don't have to taste like Fig Newtons. I wish Fig Newtons would step up their frickin' game, or Nature's Bakery would step up their game, because that's who I get my fig bars from. They're amazing. And make a strawberry fig bar with nothing but panache figs in there. There's a big enough growing market now that we can get them out to Trader Joe's and other places. So why can't we get a panache strawberry fig so that people can see for once? Holy crap, there's no actual strawberries in these? I don't believe that. You're full of crap. It's got to be those flavors that they listen there. No, it tastes just like freaking strawberries. It's amazing. That's why we grow figs, because they don't taste like Fig Newtons. Unless you like Fig Newtons, then you grow the hell out of some Fig Newtons. But give it a try. If you're thinking about getting into it, you can buy many different types online, or if it's during the winter months, you can buy cuttings from multiple places. Fig trees are one of the oldest traded fruit trees in the world because they're so easy to root from cuttings. You might not think that when you start. There's a little bit of a learning curve. Don't get too frustrated. You will have success. And once you do, it's going to be game on. So please know, spread the word, like and follow, but spread the word so that others will know. Figs don't have to taste like Fig Newtons. Most do not. Figs can taste amazing.